This match had one of the greatest prolonged dribbling sequences I've ever seen. Um, the dribbling and the link up in the final third for both PSG and Real Madrid in this game was superb. It was, like I said, one of the best displays of dribbling skill I've ever seen. As far as which player today was the most aesthetically pleasing to watch on the ball, I really liked how Mbappe looked. I loved it. His link up play up front with Neymar. Neymar on the counter, his speed. Just all around, the amount of skill that we saw on display today from both sides was absolutely incredible. Absolutely nuts. Uh, my favorite moment in the match was probably midway through the first half when Marcelo made that wonderful volley, that wonderful pass from the left-hand flank down to the center of the field to Ronaldo, who couldn't put his chance away. I think, it was the shot was saved. But just the ability for Marcelo to find him out in that tight amount of space, all the way from the left-hand side, not many center backs can make a pass like that. It was an incredible play. And, Cristiano had a couple of chances where you could tell that he's not really up to himself lately. People say he's on the decline. He is, but I think it's exaggerated. This match was great. It was great. What was your favorite highlight of this game? Tell me what your favorite highlight was. For long stretches, it looked like both PSG and Real Madrid were neutralizing each other. Most of the second half, it looked like it was headed for a sort of stalemate. Uh, we had a lot of great challenges in the box when either team was on the counter. It was really intense. Really intense. I know Ramos made a great save for Real during that whole scramble in the box down at their end. And I wasn't expecting 2 goals in quick succession for Real Madrid towards the end. Once Cristiano netted his second, I think basically the curtains just fell. And Toni Kroos, wonderful, wonderful pass. Wonderful pass to Marcelo to put the game away. I just think that I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting Real Madrid to win this match 3-1 by a 2-goal margin. I thought that this was going to be either a draw or a narrow win for either team. I picked PSG to win this tie. Not this match, but the overall tie. But I said in my video a couple months ago, I said, don't count Real out for 2 main reasons. One, most of the season they were in really poor form, but it's just the experience. It's just the Champions League experience of being 2-time defending champions. And you have a team in PSG that dominated a league in Europe that is not amongst the best. You have a couple of good teams like Monaco, Lyon, Marseille, but the French League One isn't really a good litmus test for how they were always going to do in the Champions League. And I said this a couple of months ago, and a lot of other people said it too, that PSG have not really been tested to the full brink at all in this Champions League season. They had Bayern in their group, but that was a Bayern that just got rid of Ancelotti. They had to bring back Jupp Heynckes in. This was PSG's first true test, and they got a big slap to the face. And it should not come as any surprise, because even though Real Madrid have been crap this season, especially in La Liga, they were always going to turn on another level. They were always going to turn on another notch for the Champions League. I had them not coming through this tie only because I thought that their poor form in the broader season in general would be enough to bring them down just because of PSG's talent. Although I did think it was going to be close. But look, they're now favorites to come through this. And they come through this, the confidence boost they will get from this could reinvigorate not just their Champions League campaign for a third title, but it could reinvigorate the rest of their season in La Liga. Now, I think they're too far behind to catch up with Barca. But then they can use this to then, at least as for some consolation, have a strong finish towards the end of this season. Maybe finish in a top 3 in La Liga. And yeah, I think what happened today was it was just experience of a team that knows what it's like to have to rise to the occasion over a side that, although is great, is more predicated on big money than anything else. You know, I know PSG gets a lot of criticism for that, but when you're coming up against Real Madrid, you're coming up against a team that is 2-time consecutive Champions League winners for a reason. And just because they're having a poor spell in form, the fact that they're able to turn on a different gear when they play a crucial Champions League match really demonstrates what kind of team Real Madrid are. And that is quite something. Now, no matter how shitty they are during a season, they can still play like them old selves like that if the occasion calls for it. And look, like I just said a moment ago, they come through this. It's not over because PSG can turn this tie around. 3-1 is possible to overturn. Just get a 2-0 victory next week, and that's it. I don't know if they will know that. I think that Real are now the favorites. But, you know, the odds are against them. And really, honestly, for the most part, Real Madrid, I felt, were the better team for most stretches of this game. I know that PSG took the lead first, but that goal from Rabiot was really against the run of play. Once from the opening whistle, we saw Real Madrid really coming at them very aggressively. Marcelo was hyping up the crowd, won them a couple of corners. PSG looked a little bit shell-shocked in the opening 5 minutes because of how Real were just coming at them. Once they started to find their own rhythm in the game, you know, the tempo started to die down. But even PSG's first goal, I felt it came against the run of play because Real Madrid, for every moment prior to that first opening goal, they looked the more threatening side. So I not to take anything away from PSG at all, not taking anything away from them, but I just felt that Real were the better team even when PSG had scored. Once, you know, Real got that penalty, and yes, it was a penalty, because even though Cruz, I feel, did embellish it, you cannot reach around someone's shoulder like that. You can't do it, and there was contact. Yeah, him going to his knees in the box was exaggerating, but sometimes players exaggerate because refereeing eyes are not perfect. They don't see everything that happens. So they embellish it so that the referee sees it. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's no contact and there wasn't a foul. It's a foul. It's a penalty. That brought into the half 1-1. I thought it was going to end all square. I thought it was going to end 1-1. It just looked like no one else was going to score. Even though the second half itself was even more exciting than the first. But that's just incredible. Real Madrid digging deep for that. My opinion, I think man of the match is Marcelo. Not just for the goal that he scored, but I just think that his display in defense, how aggressive he was, his link-up play, and his passing to Ronaldo and Modric, I just think it was awesome. I think Marcelo is the man of the match. This is in my opinion. But, you know, well done to Real. I mean, this is PSG. You're playing with the big boys now, you know? A lot of people saying, PSG, they're going to win the whole thing. People say, hold on, just wait 1 second. Let's see how they play when they're outside of League One. Let's just see how they do. They fumbled, but they fumbled against a really, really good defending champion. So, So leave a comment below, like, subscribe. What's your prediction for the second leg? Can PSG turn this around? I think they can. Whether they will or not, I need to think about that later on. I'll think about it later. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, have a good one. Peace out.